E se eu te disser que você perdeu inúmeras referências e descrições engraçadas de fatos que acontecem na história do GTA V e são narrados pela rádio Weazel News, seja pelo fato de não ser dublado em português ou simplesmente por você não ouvir as notícias da rádio no momento em questão, você com certeza deixou de ver esses áudios que contam acontecimentos das missões e de outras coisas espalhadas pelo estado de San Andreas de uma forma muito engraçada. A principal notícia até o momento é que esse vídeo já vai iniciar e se você não deixou o like ou se inscreveu, com certeza o Trevor sem cueca vai atrás de você. Então já sabe, né? Like, inscrição, sininho e vamos começar. No vídeo de hoje eu vou estar trazendo para vocês 5 notícias que passam na rádio Weazel News, que dá para você ouvir no carro tranquilamente. A primeira é ali na missão Lamar e as outras é depois de cada missão. Os caras vão contando basicamente o que vem acontecendo dentro do estado de San Andreas ou simplesmente em Los Santos. Então já vamos começar aqui com a primeira, que basicamente é a introdução para quando você inicia no GTA V você saber tudo o que está se passando. Vamos lá.
Weazel News.
Devin Weston profits from Congress's decision to allow Merriweather Security Consulting to expand domestic operations.
Gang crime is on the rise. Experts blame lack of movies.
The funding war between security agencies rages in the capital.
It's official. Epsilonism is not a cult.
Credits roll on another historic Vinewood movie studio.
The boss act in wild swings again as stocks drop.
Devin Weston, Los Santos's legendary billionaire investing guru, was celebrating along with Don Percival, CEO of a controversial private security business yesterday. Weston announced his fund had taken an 11% stake in Merriweather. Percival, meanwhile, was happy after defeating a government plan to outlaw the expansion of Merriweather's domestic operations. Expect more privatized high-security firms to begin domestic operations as the war on terror continues to rage.
Gang crime is on the rise, and politicians are blaming lack of media coverage and sensationalism. The recent fall in the popularity of gang movies, focusing on both African American and Hispanic street gangs, has led to a rise in gang violence, experts warned yesterday, as people no longer had movies to warn them of the danger of making bad choices.
Movie mogul Solomon Richards and his struggling Richards Majestic Studios will be reeling today from the news that another historic movie studio, Lowenstein Pictures, has closed and will be turned into luxury condos. Will there soon be nothing left in America but reality TV and property that nobody can afford?
The funding war between IAA and FIB intensifies after Congress promised to slash spending and both agencies recommend it's the other one.
Cult News.
Chris Formage and his fellow Epsilonists were celebrating yesterday after the Supreme Court of the state of San Andreas overturned the Revenue Service's claim that the Epsilon program was a cult and a pyramid scheme and not a real religion, and therefore should have its charitable status repealed. Mr. Formage, who is believed to have amassed a fortune of several $1 billion, wept on the steps of the courthouse.
I'm Carl Kelly. Markets were volatile as the Bossack Index went into free fall and then got hit hard before a late rally had everyone really confused. If you want to understand more, pick up my new book, Mounting Bulls and Riding Bears.
Weazel News. Confirming your prejudices.
Após esse primeiro áudio dá pra gente perceber ali várias coisas que vão acontecer ao longo da história do GTA V, né, que acabam se desenrolando, tipo Devin Weston ter comprado parte da Richard Majestic, outras coisas que também acontecem, epsilonismo não é mais um culto, por isso que os caras estão fugindo no final, entre outras paradas. Agora, vamos falar aqui pra depois da missão Retomada de Posse, beleza? Vamos lá.
Breaking news.
A gang shootout in Puerto del Sol.
Excitement is building for Life Invaders' new product launch.
A breakthrough in the notorious Leonora Johnson case.
The Sonora Desert, a hotbed for illegal arms trafficking from south of the border.
Is the paparazzi going out of business? Some hope so.
A quiet cul-de-sac erupted in gang violence as a bloody massacre left several Vagos gang members dead. A trail of devastation and no clear idea what happened or why. Police don't know if this means drug wars between Hispanic gangs have reignited or if this was simply a deal or an altercation gone terribly wrong.
The smuggling of weapons from the U.S. into Mexico has transformed the Sonora Desert region into a war zone in recent months, with rival traffickers including Mexican gang Varios Los Aztecas and El Salvadoran gang the Marabunta Grande clashing over supply routes.
The launch of Life Invaders' top-secret but heavily marketed new hardware is just days away now, and the hype is at a fever pitch as social networking fanatics prove once again that there are no limits to what people are prepared to sacrifice in exchange for the illusion of relevance and popularity. Life Invaders CEO Jay Norris will unveil the product himself on live television.
Since 1975, the brutal murder and dismemberment of starlet Leonora Johnson has remained unsolved and captivated conspiracy theorists. Now, there may be a breakthrough. Ira Richards, vice president of marketing at Richards Majestic and grandson of movie mogul David Richards, told a reporter that his grandfather claimed to have destroyed a confession letter in the weeks before his death. Mr. Richards Sr. passed away last year at the age of 103. His son, Solomon Richards, has run the family studio since 1978 and told reporters he knew nothing beyond the fact his son was a moron and his father was delusional.
Idiotic news. The #1 industry in Los Santos after plastic surgery and therapy is crying foul. The local paparazzi union says that high-resolution camera phones are putting them out of business. Street photographer, union rep Tyler Hughes.
Any jerk with a camera phone can make money invading the privacy of celebrities. It's really hurting our hard-working paparazzi who pride themselves on harassing celebrities to the brink of death.
Weazel News, confirming your prejudices.
Depois de olhar essa daqui, eu não sei o que é pior. Se é o jeito que eles dão a notícia, se no final eles falando Weazel News, confirmando os seus preconceitos. Mano, se a rádio do GTA V fosse dublada, seria sensacional, velho. Daria pra gente ver muita coisa, que dá pra vocês ver que tem coisas interessantes. Por exemplo, eles contando lá o tiroteio que a gente tem com os vagos, quando a gente vai fazer a retomada de posse lá daquela motinha verde, que fica pro Franklin depois, ou de outras coisas que estão acontecendo ao longo do estado. Nossa, velho, simplesmente sinistro. O caso da Leonora Johnson, os caras já falam no começo, velho. Olha que foda. Vamos aqui pro terceiro, que é depois da missão, que é da missão Agravantes, que é justamente a parte que eles comentam ali na rádio, onde o Michael acaba entrando com um carro dentro da concessionária do Simeon e que o Simeon já está sob investigação e outras paradas muito fodas. Vamos dar uma olhada aqui.
Weazel News.
Car carnage in Pillbox Hill.
An upsurge in armed ATM robberies has locals concerned.
Devin Weston buys steak in Richards Majestic.
Is I Find Street Map sharing pics of you on the toilet?
A car dealership in Pillbox Hill was destroyed when a joyrider smashed into the showroom. Premium Deluxe Motorsport has come under investigation for loan scams and high interest rate financing, but the owner, Simeon Yetarian, assured police that this incident was purely an accident and not a disgruntled customer. One man witnessed the carnage.
It was crazy as hell. That dude must have been tweaking. I know I am. You got a washing machine I can take apart?
Following a spate of robberies at ATM machines across Los Santos, the LSPD has issued an official warning, urging citizens to stay alert, afraid, and mistrustful of anybody who doesn't look like them.
Los Santos prominent financial guru and investor Devin Weston made a typically unexpected move yesterday. Just as conventional wisdom is moving out of movies in general, and Vinewood Studios in particular, Mr. Weston bought a significant stake in storied but under fire mini-major Richards Majestic. Head of production, Solomon Richards, son of legendary founder David Richards, welcomed Mr. Weston onto the board.
Technology news.
Web juggernaut iFind is sending cars with sophisticated cameras to take pictures of every street and house in America, including images of the inside of your home. CEO Trip Hammer says that having every home and its content searchable is the future.
This is the future.
Privacy rights advocates were booed by liberal activists who feel everything should be online, free, and searchable.
Weazel News, confirming your prejudices.
Nessa parte dá pra ver os caras claramente falando que o Simeon Yetarian já tava sob investigação sobre fraude de financiamento, que é as paradas que ele fazia no começo. Mas mais importante do que isso, eu fiquei até pensando que eles falam sobre roubos em caixas eletrônicos. E eu fiquei pensando se não tem a ver com aquele evento aleatório do Pac McCready, que acontece bem no começo do jogo, né? Ali perto da casa do Franklin. Talvez tenha a ver com isso. Talvez sejam outros roubos, mas talvez tenha a ver com isso, porque também tem eventos aleatórios que tem roubos de caixa eletrônico. Não sei direito. E fora isso, também tem a questão da primeira notícia, né, que os caras deram. Que na primeira notícia eles falam que os estúdios de cinema estão fechando para virar condomínios de luxo. E agora no terceiro áudio eles falam que estranhamente o Sr. Weston acabou comprando uma participação do Richard Majestic, que também é um estúdio. E aí no decorrer da história a gente vê que mais pra frente o Devin Weston também quer demolir, pegar o dinheiro do seguro e transformar em condomínio de luxo. Velho, a rádio do GTA V é muito bem feita. Vamos aqui pra próxima missão, que fala sobre a missão pai e filho. Na missão pai e filho, né, a gente já tá ligado que tem o perseguição em alta velocidade, a gente tenta pegar o iate lá dos caras, o Jimmy quase morre, o Franklin também, bagaceira da pelga, e os caras contam toda essa notícia aí também dentro da rádio. Vamos dar uma olhada.
Weazel News.
High-speed gun battle on a Los Santos freeway.
Are the Chinese coming after our illegal drugs now too?
Epsilonism still growing and still popular with in-crowd.
The Transit Authority announces another project residents will ignore.
A 60s art house classic returns to cinemas.
Shock and terror on the Del Perro freeway earlier as two groups of men engaged in a high-speed gun battle over a luxury yacht. The Weazel News team was there just minutes too late, as usual, and spoke to this man.
I thought it was a joke or some prank until a bullet came through the window and tore through my artery. Now, if you don't mind, I need to go to the hospital.
It appears that China now wants to outsource our crime, too. At a press conference today, Globopol shared intel that high-profile members from a number of Chinese criminal organizations have entered the U.S. illegally in recent months with a view to infiltrate the North American drug market.
Despite recent controversies, including a court case and accusations of being a cult, more and more celebrities are choosing to become Epsilonists. The Epsilon program, the Los Santos-based religion that has been derided, attacked, ridiculed, and accused of everything from charlatanism and fraud to slavery and prostitution, continues to grow. At a promotional event at the Epsilon Center in Vinewood, a spokesman told us,
"This is an American religion and an American success story. Unlike most American businesses, we haven't outsourced, and we are expanding. We should be praised, not scorned."
Transit News.
The Los Santos Transit Authority announced funding for a prospective new streetcar project to the tune of $16 billion. Rails will run on many popular streets, shutting them down for years during construction, and promise to move traffic up to 3 miles per hour, much faster than current gridlocked conditions.
Capolavoro, the incomprehensible 60s classic that typified the European art house cinema craze, is showing again in local theaters as part of a retrospective of indecipherable and pretentious movies.
Well, I was thoroughly confused, but I felt better than other people towards the end.
The movie is showing again in local theaters for a limited time. Weazel News, confirming your prejudices.
Nesse áudio aí os caras falam até dos chineses, né? Os caras já invadindo ali Los Santos em busca de bagulho de drogas e tal, que aí é a parada do Trevor, né? Com o tal Sheng lá. Mas o mais sensacional aqui, velho, sem dúvida, o mais sensacional é o cara contando lá do tiroteio e falando que ele precisa parar a entrevista pra poder ir no hospital, velho. Sinistro. Vamos aqui pra última, que agora a gente vai falar um pouquinho sobre a missão terapia de casais, onde é jogado lá todo aquele bagulho lá barranco abaixo, toda aquela sacada gigante barranco abaixo.
Weazel News.
A house collapses in Vinewood Hills.
Vigilantes getting tough on illegal immigration.
New movies Meltdown and spy thriller Deep Inside are all going green screen and plan to rack up a lot of green.
What kind of person waits in line for a phone? We'll find out.
A Vinewood Hills stilt home designed by famous architect Teuton collapsed. Seismologists did not notice any unusual activity, and the house passed inspection just last year. Melinda Manchester is at the scene.
This homeowner is obviously distraught.
Leave me alone! I don't want to talk to biased American media.
We'll stay on this story.
A group of vigilantes calling themselves the Civil Border Patrol are attempting to combat illegal immigration in San Andreas' Alamo Sea region. Police and liberal commentators have both attempted to make the group stop its actions, but so far to no avail.
We've long known that actors are empty and vapid, and so are the high-tech rooms where most movies are made these days. Thanks to cheap overseas animation houses, the days of filming on location are coming to an end as CG takes over. Richards Majestic recently announced that 2 new films in production will be filmed almost entirely on green screen. Meltdown, a Vinewood retelling of the financial crisis set in Liberty City, and Deep Inside, a globe-trotting derivative spy thriller, are both being shot in Los Santos.
Phone news.
The new iFruit phone won't be available for 3 months, but some losers are lining up already. We stopped outside the iFruit store and spoke with Sean Douglas, who says he can't wait.
This next phone's going to be the future and finally show those losers with their drone phones Who is the king?
Some commentators say that iFruit's glory days are behind it as cheap clones flood the market and people remember it's only a phone anyway. We'll stay on this story as we literally have no interest in covering the real ones happening at home and abroad.
Weazel News, confirming your prejudices.
Caraca, né, velho? Muito louco mesmo. Pelo menos eu curto pra caramba. Eu curti pra caramba, né? Vim traduzindo isso daqui. Deu um baita trabalho, mesmo usando um pouquinho de inteligência artificial. Inteligência artificial erra demais. E aí eu tinha que vir corrigindo aqui várias coisas. Talvez ainda tenha uma coisinha ou outra errada, mas é simplesmente sensacional. Gente, eu queria transformar isso aqui em uma série do canal. Então me comenta aí embaixo se vocês acham interessante ou não. Porque tem muita coisa sobre as rádios do GTA V que precisam ser mostradas, né? Tipo, a galera não sabe porque não é dublado e não tem legenda. Esse é o vídeo de hoje. Eu espero que vocês realmente tenham curtido, porque deu bastante trabalho. Se você curtiu, não esquece de deixar o like e a inscrição. Até o próximo vídeo então. Um abraço e falou!